again, like the air suspension in these cars, the ride is super smooth.
Makes it nice and smooth, yeah. So that's the benefit that you get over some static. If you want to go low or static, you're going to get a very bumpy ride.
Right, yeah. And first VW convertible I'm in, and amazing, hey? It was very, very cool. I think the Eos is going to become highly sought after, if not already, because of this convertible aspect.
In the local scene.
And the Mark V GTI engine is like a really good platform.
It is a solid.
Apart from the
it's
camshaft follower.
That's one thing, but when it comes to building a motor, I haven't seen a more reliable motor from VW.
From the BWA.
The BWA engine. It's bulletproof. I mean, it comes in the what's it? I mean, guys did the KO4 upgrade, get it similar to the 6R or S3.
That's just
power figures, and it handled it. It handled it fine.
Yeah, without opening the engine. Hey, that's just the injectors and turbo.
Correct.
And
bolt-on mods.
Well, so this is essentially a Mark V convertible.
100%.
Very, very cool, massive.
Very. I mean, it's one of the most reliable platforms from VW. Like I said, I built a S3, the 8P S3, which was pretty solid as well, and the 8V S3. The 8V S3, that turbo is problematic.
That's the same drivetrain as the 7R.
Correct.
So you get to hear the exhaust like proper because of the
much better because it's up down, yeah.
The road as we come. This car is such a eyeball color convertible. People probably don't understand which VW this is because
it's different.
Yeah, it is. It's the next one. Thank you for coming through and bringing your VW Eos /Rocco.
Rocco, yeah.
Okay.
I call it Roccos.
We saw the car at Idle Auto Fest, and it was something that stood out mainly because of the color and then the front end, because we couldn't understand what was going on here.
Yeah.
We noticed the Eos back end, Scirocco front end, so it's like a really, really cool build and an absolute privilege to have it here on
Thank you, thanks.
So, where did the idea of using the VW Eos platform for a build originate?
So, I love convertibles. And looking at a convertible platform that's slightly different made me lean towards the Eos.
Okay.
The original plan was to slap an R32 motor into the Eos, but looking more into what can be done with the platform, I decided to start with the exterior build, and that's where it all started for me, like researching around the Eos platform and seeing what can be done, then deciding on what my direction was going to be for the build, and then start going looking for parts after that.
It started from there.
Yeah.
So why did you choose the VW Eos? Was it purely for the convertible aspect?
Not necessarily just the convertible. Yes, that was a major factor, but also the rarity of it.
These cars are not as popular as the Mark V GT.
100%. I mean, if you look at the car scene in South Africa today, you'll see tons of Golf 5, Golf 6s, Golf 7s.
Yes.
And a lot of Golf 1s as well, but you don't really see many built-up Eoses, and it's not a a very attractive looking car for someone to go
in,
and
in
build.
stock form, and it didn't sell anywhere as well as the Mark 5 GTI or the Mark 6.
Interesting fact about the Eos is it's the only VW hardtop convertible made by the entire VW group. When I say entire group, it's like Audi, Lambo.
I didn't know that.
Porsche. None of them had a hardtop convertible.
Wow. And
so, I mean, so that was the one special factor about the Eos. But like you said, it didn't sell very well. And that's why it ended its run, production run.
Even if you go onto on the internet looking for one, you don't find much for sale.
I mean, you'll come across a few. A lot of them are used and abused.
Yes.
So it's hard to find one in good condition or good example.
Maintained.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So after you searched and purchased the Eos, what is the first step in your build?
So the first step was starting to source parts for the front end, but the first thing that actually went onto the car was the wheels.
The wheels.
So it was the rotiform wheels that I managed to source from a local supplier.
Okay.
And fitted that.
They look very cool. Are they 19-inch?
They're 19-inch, yeah. So I didn't want to go 20-inch, especially with the idea of going air.
Air suspension.
20-inch will keep it a little bit higher up once it's all aired out.
Yeah. Okay, just while we're speaking about the air suspension, just tell us about the kit and the specs of it.
So that was the next mod after the wheels, the air suspension. So it was done by Coven from Stan Certified.
Okay.
And I decided to go with two tanks, tank setup, two compressor setup. It gives you more capacity. You can do more air ups, air downs.
Downs instead of waiting for the compressor to full.
To kick in, yeah.
Yes, okay.
And and that's the whole concept behind that and the idea behind that. We played around with a few designs first and eventually landed up with the two tanks side by side with the compressors in the middle. Future plans for that is to convert that to hard lines as well.
Okay, and tell us about the paintwork, because that's one of the most eye-catching aspects of this vehicle.
So that paintwork is inspired by 911 Porsche GT3, which comes out in Riviera blue. So when I saw that color, I just fell in love with it. I'm a big Porsche fan.
Okay.
So it's aspiring towards getting a Porsche someday, and for now I'll settle for the color on my car.
So that's an original Porsche.
Correct.
Blue. Oh, very, very cool. So one of the biggest attractions outside of the color is the front end, because it confuses a lot of people. Even now while we were outside, people couldn't understand what was going on. Can you take us through what was changed?
Sure. So like I said, once I sourced the car, the next step was sourcing parts, and the parts that I needed to source was the entire front end of a Eos-Rocco R.
Yes.
And it wasn't just the Eos-Rocco R, but it was a facelift R. So trying to find parts for that was scarce, hence teeth. But started off trying to find complete cradle, valance, headlights, bumpers, bonnets, fenders. What we couldn't find in scrapyards, we had to buy from the agents. So it's all OEM parts used in the build. And getting it to work was a lot harder than I had anticipated. It's far from being a bolt-on modification. We had to blend the two fenders, the Eos fender and the Eos-Rocco fender, because the Eos-Rocco's got a much shorter front.
So this is a proper build, eh?
100% custom build.
So it's not
100% custom build, yeah.
So it has a Eos-Rocco bumper, headlights, grille. Bonnet is a custom between an Eos and a Eos-Rocco.
Yeah, so the ends of the bonnet were blended with the Eos bonnet, so it matches the A-pillar as it goes up.
And you when you look at the vehicle, it looks like it drove out the factory.
Correct, flows. In fact, the guys that built it for me, one of the only guys that I found to take on the build was Scorpion Auto Body. They're based in Edenville.
Okay.
And when I started telling them what I want to do with this car on the front end, and they're like, "But I don't know what you're smoking." So. Eventually they said, well, it's your money and your direction. It's fine. We'll try it.
They did an amazing job.
They 100%. They did a fantastic job on the front end. One of the very few people that were willing to go into that build with me. A lot of the guys today, they just want to swap out panels, right?
Yes, because that's doable.
Yeah, and then this was something different. And the fact that it hadn't been done in the country before, there was no template to work from.
So this is the first Eos/Rocco.
Yeah, correct.
It's the first one we've seen.
That's the only one in the country.
Wow. Well done on that.
Yeah, thanks.
And is there any other exterior modifications?
Yeah, so there's the side sills as well. I mean, I gave the guys at Scorpion Auto Body the Eos-Rocco side sills for the car to fit on, and they pointed out, it doesn't actually fit very nicely. It doesn't really flow well. So we had to source a second pair of Eos-Rocco side sills. And they blended both to extend it and make it fit the way you see it on the car today.
Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
Going to the, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Further to your question around the exterior modifications, apart from the side sills was the exhaust build.
Yeah, I was going to go to that next. That's an entire conversation on its own, but please take us through what's
Sure. So again, inspiration came from a vehicle that I saw on the internet. It was actually from a vehicle in Japan.
Okay.
And I looked at it and I was trying to play around with the idea and the design, and I said, I came up with a few of my own designs, and ultimately I decided to stick with what I found on the internet. And I approached Kyalami Exhaust and asked them, can you build this for me? I showed them a picture of what I want, and they're like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Oh, and they did an amazing
job. So they did stainless steel exhaust from the downpipe back. They built the system.
It's crazy. It looks crazy when you could stand and stare to just see what's like, just to understand what's going on there. And it has like a titanium tip look, tailpiece.
Yeah, so they've got the what do they call it? Sort of burnt stainless steel look to it. So they gave me options, and I like that because it sort of works well with the color of the cars.
Definitely, the exhaust system just looks like pure
so
art.
we actually had to cut out the diffuser portion of the bumper so we can show the.
So you could actually see the
full exhaust build,
And going to the engine, has there been any modifications done to the engine?
Yeah, so a lot's been done to the engine. When I first got the car, we sent it in for major service to RNS Motorsport, the Insane Racing software reseller. And we started what was meant to be a basic major service, ended up being replacing a high pressure fuel pump, replacing camshafts and things like that. And eventually got all of that sorted out, replaced timing chains. While the car was there, the guy, Riviera from Insane said, or from RNS said, why don't we just slap a downpipe on this and do a software tune? So I was like, well, the car's there and might as well. And so at the moment it's got a stage one Insane Racing tune on it.
And any indeed like power figures that the car's currently making?
It hasn't been on the dyno, but I think standard with this 2-liter GTI motor, the BWA Golf 5 motor makes about 145 kilowatts, I think.
So 147 stock.
147. So it's probably in the region of 160 or so, I would say.
And this engine in the Eos is identical to the Mark 5 GTI?
100%.
And it has the same cam follower issue as the Mark 5?
Correct, and that was one of the issues, and that's why we had to replace the camshaft, because previous owner or previous owners were bad with maintenance, and the high pressure fuel pump.
The cam follower failed?
Ate through the cam follower.
Sorry to hear about that, man. And okay, let's move to the interior. Tell us what has been changed, what's going on. Let's start with what's changed, and then we'll move to the sound system.
Perfect. So with the interior, we've changed the front seats. I think that's the most obvious thing that you see there.
The wingbacks.
We went to the Recaro wingbacks. I was looking high and low for those seats. At the time, there weren't many available on the market.
Those have become a commodity from what I'm seeing.
Yeah. I mean, and when it does go for sale, it's scooped up in a matter of minutes. Fortunately, I was able to source that from a friend of mine, Sean Mulu.
From VAC Cafe.
From VAC Cafe, he had these seats in his Tiguan. In fact, before he sold his Tiguan, he got rid of the seats because he didn't like the comfort of it. I like it just fine. So that works well for me. So we changed out the front seats. Next up was just some vinyl trim around all the silver bits in the car, like the trims. Cover that in with vinyl. to black. The trim around the radio that was sprayed gloss black to match.
I've seen the steering wheels change as well.
Yes, so the steering wheel managed to get a brand new Golf 6R steering wheel
very cool.
fitted in there.
Flat bottom, hey? Flat bottom.
Yeah, flat bottom. Then came the sound system install. I had a Kenwood media player in when I did the original install, full kicker install.
Okay.
So all the door speakers have been changed to kicker, amplifiers, kicker, and we've decided to go for a active subwoofer, a slimline for space.
For the convertible.
Correct, and especially because it's convertible, you know, with the roof down, you're not going to get that bass coming into the cabin. So we decided to go with a slimline built into the seat.
Very cool. For anyone that wants to see this car in person, is there any car shows that it's going to be on display in the near future?
Yeah, so we will be on the 12th of June at Maguire's Ultimate Rides in Edenvale.
Okay.
And we've also got entry into German vs. Jap in Nasdaq.
What about that?
That's on the 3rd of July.
That's awesome. So people will be able to actually see this car in like real person. Any future plans for this?
Well, the immediate thing that's going to happen next is the rear seats need to get reupholstered to match the front seats. The door panels as well will get changed. Armrest is a little bit worn out, so is the handbrake.
Get them recovered.
Yeah, get them recovered. Some minor touches.
Engine-wise, R32 engine?
Yes. So that was the original plan.
Yeah.
It's still a vision. So
still playing with that to see if you're going to go.
And maybe in a couple of years it will be R32.
And just have to ask, what do you think, or what have you spent plus minus on this Bolt, excluding the car? Just a plus minus.
Sure, it's like I told you earlier. You know, I actually stopped counting because
I think it's more than the price of another Eos, to be correct.
100%.
More. Okay.
100%, a lot more.
You can see it though. I mean, you can see the stuff that's been done here.
Yeah, there's the seats. I mean, you know the price of the seats.
Yeah, definitely.
The wheels come at a cost.
Definitely.
Paintwork wasn't cheap. Just getting the
and you
front
didn't
end.
skimp on any aspect of the Bolt from what I've seen.
No, you know, the thing is, when you're doing a build like this, you want to do it properly, you want to do it right. And you want to use as much OEM parts as you can, because you don't want to have issues where it doesn't
line
match,
up and
where the left and right don't look 100%. So just all OEM parts used in it.
Amazing stuff, man.
So it does come at a cost, but I can't put an exact figure to it.
It was the price you're willing to pay.
Yeah, it's a passion build.
Yeah.
And once I was in it, you know, we came across hurdles along the way, but we just had to push through, and you know, you're in it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
From my side, from what I've noticed, even outside here, people that don't really know much about the VW models, they don't understand what this car is. But someone that's actually a little bit clued up will understand, okay, this is Eos with a Scirocco front, and it's really interesting to see for the first time, and amazing stuff. Is there anyone you'd like to thank regarding the build, Darren?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of people. My immediate group of friends come to mind, because they're like, come on, you know, the devil on your shoulder. Come on, keep doing it. Go. And I think that really got me going and made sure I followed through with the vision. But I must say, my wife definitely puts up with a lot from me regarding this build. So major thanks to her. And all the guys that were involved with it, like Jimmy from Scorpion Auto Body.
Yeah,
I mean, he
did the body work.
Did most of the, to get it looking the way it is today, that's all on him and his team, and they do phenomenal work.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Kalami Exhaust, who built the exhaust, again, phenomenal work.
Yes.
Sujit from One Stop Audio, who did the sound install. I mean, his work is amazing. I mean, you didn't even know it had a sound install.
I couldn't see
it. It's very neat. It looks all custom, except for that little telltale sign of the slimline sub in the seat.
Yeah, in the middle of the seat.
Yeah.
Darren from us, awesome build, absolute privilege to have you here in studio and to get like one of the first people to get to showcase your car. We just want to say thank you, amazing stuff, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Awesome.
And just before we send you off, we have our first publication coming out really soon that's going to go on sale, not on sale yet, and you're going to be one of the very first people to get to see it, and we want your first thoughts, completely honest, and we'll take it, whatever you have to say.
Awesome stuff. Okay, cool. Am I allowed to open it?
Yeah.
Wow, this is, I mean, already still in the plastic, you can see the quality of the publication, and I understand now what you meant by coffee table publication and not just, I mean, it's all glossy. Wow. Now, well done, Levine. This is freaking awesome work, yeah. Hey?
Thanks.
Love the look of it and the feel of it.
So we have a QR code which you scan that'll take you to.
I can see that.
To the video feature.
Oh, that's amazing.
So you will get the, you'll get the reading article, and then you'll get the video.
The YouTube video as well. Very cool. Very, very cool. Well done. Looking forward to seeing more of these magazines on the shelves.
Oh man, awesome. Thank you so much, Adel.
Cool stuff.
Thank you, man.